Hello, and welcome to the Binge Drinking Solution Masterclass. You're about to learn the most effective way to eliminate binge drinking and get back your control. You're going to learn about a simple three-step system which helps people with high stress careers eliminate binge drinking without quitting cold turkey, detox, or any medications. And you're going to learn why this is going to work for you, even if nothing else has worked in the past. Now, before we start, there are a couple of things that you need to do to help you get the most of our time together. You may want to jot down a few notes. So make sure your sound is turned on and have a piece of paper and pen handy because what I'm about to share with you will change the way you think about your binge drinking problem. Ever noticed how some people seem to enjoy drinking socially and never seem to develop a problem with alcohol? And then there are the lucky ones who seem to be able to just quit cold turkey and have healthy relationships with their friends and family without binge drinking sabotaging their relationships. Does it seem to you that some people are just able to handle their stress well and they never turn to drinking or other bad habits to escape their problems, but you don't? Do you ever feel like some people just wake up full of energy and eager to start their day, or they seem to sail through the day without ever needing a pick me up? Or maybe they just leave work early and they enjoy planning their evening activities when all you can do is think about getting home so you can crash on the couch and binge. Don't worry. This is for you. If you have a high stress lifestyle and you want to improve your career and have better relationships with your family, if you're tired of allowing binge drinking to rob you of the life you deserve, and if you're willing to invest in your health and prevent your binge drinking from turning into full blown alcoholism, and if you want to eliminate binge drinking without all of the negative side effects that we talked about, then this is the place for you. Keep listening and you'll learn just how to with this simple three-step solution. In a few minutes, I'm going to show you just what this has to do with your binge drinking problem. We'll show you a simple three-step system to help you eliminate binge drinking in as little as 8 weeks or less without any medications, detox, and without giving up alcohol completely, even if nothing else has worked in the past. With the secrets that I'm going to share with you in this master class, you'll wake up ready to achieve your best performance in your career. Imagine what it feels like to wake up in the morning without feeling drained, fatigued, or without any horrible headaches, without feeling anxious or depressed, feeling clear and energized and ready to meet the day. In addition to having more energy and being successful in your career, you'll discover ways to be able to enjoy spending time with your friends and family, improving your relationships with your spouse, and finally having your kids look up to you. I have nothing to sell you other than the idea that you can create the stress free, binge free lifestyle you deserve without the guilt and lack of control you feel when you're binge drinking. However, if you like what you see and if you'd like to speak to me or my team about how you can get there even faster, you'll have the opportunity to do so at the end of this masterclass. Can you relate? Are there times when you just want to hide from everyone and just drink for hours and hours in secret? Does it ever seem like you're slowly ruining your career and relationships with your friends and family? Or have there been times when you feel so overwhelmed you just want to reach for the alcohol, even though you know you're adding on a little weight and maybe even getting a bear belly? Or do you find yourself getting really emotional and losing your temper more easily? Are you fatigued and anxious and depressed? Are you starting to have brain fog? Are you starting to miss or forget going to important activities or events because you're just so tired and hungover? Have you ever tried to quit cold turkey or tried medications or even detox just to find out they made your binge drinking worse? Are you tired of the yo yo drinking cycle to fail and feel guilty and quit and fail again and feel guilty again. And you know it, the cycle continues. If so, just know this: it's not your fault. The real problem is binge drinking can't be solved by willpower, abstinence, or medication. Only correcting a newly discovered brain behavioral connection can help you get control over your binge drinking permanently. Here's why I say this: work, relationships, social stressors, personality issues, gosh, other addictive habits, all of these trigger your fight or flight response, which actually lead to binge drinking. The brain on binge drinking is like an unregulated thermostat that's always on. Even when the desired temperature is achieved, it doesn't know when to stop until it overheats or breaks. Soon, we'll show you how easy it is to turn your brain into an auto regulating thermostat. When the temperature goes up, it knows when to stop raising the temperature without overheating your system or going into a binge. Research studies have found that balancing the brain behavior connection works best to eliminate binge drinking and prevent alcoholism. And what's more is that these research studies have also found that detox, willpower, and medications are just not effective long term. The good news is we figured out a simple three-step way to rebalance the brain behavior connection and to finally solve binge drinking once and for all. In a moment, we'll walk you through the process. The key to your success is easy when you use this three-step system. You'll be able to wake up feeling refreshed and energized, and you'll be able to perform at your best because your mind is going to be clear and you're not going to be fatigued or tired or cranky. You'll be able to look at yourself in the mirror every day and love the person you see without feeling guilty, anxious, hopeless, or depressed. With the simple system, you'll be able to finally have a better relationship with your spouse, be a great role model to your kids, and also enjoy being social with your friends again without worrying about embarrassing yourself or waking up in places you don't remember. The best part is you don't have to quit drinking completely unless you want to. You don't have to go into detox. And you don't have to take any weird medications that make you feel sick because that's how they work. You know what? Even if you're skeptical at this point and you're thinking, but you've tried everything, don't worry. This three-step system has worked for hundreds and thousands of people. So there's honestly no reason why it wouldn't work for you. And the only reason I can share this with you is because our clinic has successfully helped hundreds of thousands of clients who've been through this. Our team of experts, led by doctors, have successfully treated binge drinking disorder, alcoholism, and other addictions. But we're best known for successfully helping individuals with high stress lifestyles achieve permanent control over binge drinking, even when they're triggered by stressful situations. So when you get to your rock bottom, don't sugarcoat it. Get the help you deserve before it turns into alcoholism. Our team of world renowned Harvard trained experts have helped thousands upon thousands of binge drinkers just like you eliminate binge drinking permanently and prevent it from becoming alcoholism. We've helped people from actors to athletes, busy moms and dads to Fortune 500 executives. We've helped people in all walks of life achieve their dream of finally getting control of their life and eliminating binge drinking permanently. Even though we're sought after experts in this area, I want you to know that things certainly weren't always that way for our clients. Let me tell you what I mean. We worked with thousands of clients who desperately needed help to manage their binge drinking and desperately wanted to prevent it from turning into alcoholism. Yet, no matter how much willpower they put in or how many medications we prescribed, nothing helped them with their binge drinking. They would get it under control for a while, only to relapse and start the vicious binge yo yo cycle again. And we tried everything for our clients, from medications, which had poor compliance because the medications were designed to make the clients feel sick so that they wouldn't drink any more alcohol. Well, guess what? They didn't drink, it was the medication. And then, of course, there was detox. Detox, which cost tens of thousands of dollars for our clients, only to have them relapse and have to go through it all over again. And then there was abstinence or quitting cold turkey, which always seemed to fail long term. I remember the moment our client Greg came into our office. He was crying and holding a bag full of pill bottles he just received after getting out of the hospital. He was a father and husband who loved his family so much. He had a high stress job as a chief executive of a Fortune 500 company. For years, Greg traveled all over the country and all over the world. He struggled with binge drinking and he kept drinking because it honestly helped him forget being far away from his family and it helped him get the edge off. But then his binge drinking started getting way out of control. He started having problems getting to work after binge episodes. He stopped going to important meetings and he even woke up with these horrible headaches that would never go away. He was constantly feeling drained and tired most of the time, and it got to the point where sometimes he woke up in places that he didn't even recognize. He started arguing with his wife, and his children lost so much respect for him. He was at the mercy of the bottle, and he had to be hospitalized for acute pancreatitis. After getting out of the hospital, his wife called us, and Greg came into our office crying and pleading for help. He felt helpless, hopeless, and defeated. And we felt terrible for him. We just couldn't allow our client to fail. We'd taken the Hippocratic Oath and we knew that there must be a better solution to help all of our clients suffering from binge drinking. It sent our clinical team of experts on a journey to find answers. We spent millions of dollars and researched thousands of clients, and were able to finally create a program that would finally, once and for all, solve and eliminate binge drinking permanently. We discovered a surprising brain behavior connection, which is the best way to eliminate binge drinking and prevent alcoholism. We use this three-step program for our client Craig and many of our other clients. And what was interesting was that not only were they permanently able to eliminate binge drinking, we were seeing that it was affecting other important areas of their life as well. Our clients were now able to heal and have a carefree lifestyle without worrying about binge drinking destroying their happiness. You know, you and our clients are similar. Listen, our clients aren't superheroes, just regular people who are committed to getting results once and for all. So I believe if they can do this, so can you. Imagine being able to spend time with those who matter the most without feeling irritable or on edge or losing your temper with anyone. No mood swings, no feeling guilty for what you said at the dinner table. Remember how amazing it felt when you could just hang out with your friends and drink socially or just have a good time without worrying about getting drunk, forgetting where you were, or adding on weight? Imagine being able to celebrate your career successes again and to finally have control over binge drinking. Imagine how good it would feel to be able to be with your friends and loved ones again without worrying about doing anything embarrassing and completely remembering the entire evening. Now is the time to realize the real reason why you binge drink. And that's because it's not your fault. It's the stress that's hijacking your ability to control your brain behavior thermostat. And now I'm going to share three discoveries with you that we've made about binge drinking through years of research. After researching thousands of clients' cases, we discovered that the old solutions to treating binge drinking disorder really didn't work. In fact, what we found was that they made people more likely to relapse and more likely to have alcoholism. Several clinical research studies now prove that the more clients try to solve their binge drinking disorder by going to detox programs or quitting cold turkey, the more they actually impair their brain's ability to heal. And it eventually leads them to become more likely to binge more, which then leads them to become alcohol dependent and then leads them to become alcoholics. Another intriguing research study revealed that because the medications used to treat binge drinking disorder are designed to make patients feel sick, thereby preventing them from drinking more alcohol, what these medications do is they actually release toxins. Well, these toxins go into the patient's system and actually eventually make the patients more alcohol dependent because they trigger the fight or flight response, which then triggers patients to want to resolve their fight or flight response by actually escaping it by doing more of the binge drinking they're trying to avoid. So, this yo yo binge cycle leads to tissue inflammation, organ damage, insulin resistance, hormonal imbalances, weight gain, and also anxiety and depression. Meet Sarah. Sarah was an aspiring model who called us because her binge drinking was getting in the way of her work. She was missing appointments. She was getting cravings to binge drink and eat food all the time. She started taking medications, which made her feel sick, all in an attempt to prevent herself from drinking more alcohol. Instead, Sarah became more irritable. She started having headaches and she developed anxiety and depression, which made her go on even more meds. Worst yet, her hormones were so imbalanced, she started to gain more and more weight. She tried everything and nothing seemed to work. At some point, she hit rock bottom and she told herself that something had to change. Now, this is Sarah today. How did she achieve this transformation? After Sarah called us and started using this easy three-step solution, she was able to get off all of her meds. She not only eliminated binge drinking, she also has so much more energy and lost over 50 pounds. Her headaches disappeared and she no longer is anxious or depressed. She got her life back in order and she's now more joyful and successful than she ever thought possible. Her career skyrocketed. She's a successful model and now has an amazing modeling career traveling between Palm Beach, Paris, and Milan. So, our next discovery was that all of these stressors, regardless of whether they came from daily experiences, medication side effects, or just were based on personality differences, were triggering clients to activate their fight or flight response. What this means is that having a stressful lifestyle or a high stress career triggers your fight or flight response and gets you stuck in a survival mode, which then triggers binge drinking. Common factors that activate these stressors are relationship problems, career and work struggles, addictive habits, hormonal imbalances, mental health issues like mood disorders, or just personality differences. When the brain is under stress, it's like it feels like it's being attacked by a pack of wolves, which triggers the fight or flight response. So the brain tells you to run from the wolf pack, also known as the stressors, by escaping. Only instead of physically running, the brain uses binge drinking to escape your problems. You see, for the brain, escape is escape, unfortunately. When the brain uses binge drinking as an attempt to self regulate, the chemicals that are actually in the alcohol change the brain and make it less resilient and more likely to develop binge drinking disorder. For example, Bob was one of our clients who had worked for more than 20 years just to get a raise at his job. At first, he was just a social drinker, but then as he received more and more projects and had more and more stress on his job, he started to cope by drinking more and more alcohol. Pretty soon, his friends and family didn't want to be around him. Bob tried everything without success. And then he finally found us and called us and discovered the binge behavior solution. Now, Bob is a success at his job. He has clarity and he avoids mind fog. He's a great husband and father to his family, and his wife and children are absolutely proud of him. He is in the best shape he's ever been, and he's also lost 20 pounds and his bare belly. Our third discovery was remarkable. Bob, Sarah, and countless other patients' transformations led us to notice that as soon as they started applying our three-step system, they were also losing unwanted fat, especially around their midsection, almost effortlessly. The more we researched, we discovered a link between binge drinking, weight gain, and hormonal regulation. In a nutshell, binge drinking leads to a sugar spike, which then triggers a hormonal imbalance. That leads to insulin resistance and weight gain. But surprisingly, we discovered that this hormonal imbalance also was responsible for many cases of our clients' anxiety, depression, fatigue, and headaches. This was the case with Sarah, Bob, Greg, and many other clients. Yet most doctors were missing this connection and just prescribing more and more little orange bottles to patients. Thankfully, we now know there's a better way to solve binge drinking disorder, prevent all of the side effects we discussed, and finally achieve permanent sustainable success. Remember that slide I showed you with the bucket earlier? Well, I'm going to show you how our three-step system will help you eliminate binge drinking virtually by emptying your old bucket, refilling it with healthier thoughts and healthier ways of coping with binge drinking disorder, and allow you to finally achieve sustainable success. After countless years of research and spending millions of dollars, we now have a proven way to eliminate binge drinking disorder permanently. It's called the binge drinking solution. Let me walk you through the steps. The first step is to repair. This is where our team of experts help you to repair the brain behavior connection and get your thermostat to function properly again. The next step is to rewire. This is where we rewire the stimulus response mechanism to change your brain's relationship with binge drinking. But don't worry, we don't use any intrusive tools, and we can teach you to do this from the comfort and privacy of your own home. The final step is to retune. This is where we retune your brain to get permanent results. So your thermostat auto regulates long term on autopilot. Our system's proven and time tested. In fact, research shows that fixing the brain behavior connection is the best way to achieve permanent results and control over binge drinking for good. After many years of research and successfully treating hundreds of thousands of patients, we finally perfected how to rebalance the brain behavior connection. And we can do this without having to depend on willpower or medication or detox. We've applied the binge drinking solution to hundreds of thousands of patients, and the results were amazing. Not only were our clients able to eliminate binge drinking, they are also having lower blood pressure. Their headaches disappeared. They got off of anxiety and depression medication. Their hormones balanced. They lost weight around their midsection. And what's more, they sustained their results. Here's what many of our clients are saying about binge drinking solution. George was referred to us by someone else, and he actually started the binge drinking solution in a very rough time in his life. But now he's completely full of hope, completely free of binge drinking, and his life is just absolutely wonderful. John was one of our first clients, and he's still binge free today. When Stephanie called us, she was very anxious and taking a number of anxiety meds and even Ritalin. And she now is on no medication and has no anxiety and also does not have a binge drinking disorder. Anthony was surprised at how easy the binge drinking solution is to use. You know what they say? When the student is ready, the teacher appears. You're here because you're committed to ending the cycle of binge drinking. You're tired of feeling guilty, drunk, and exhausted. And if you're anything like our clients, you probably put a high value on your time. And you've probably enjoyed success in other areas of your life by focusing on things that get you results. You now know that resetting the brain is the best way to eliminate binge drinking permanently. And we've shown you how eliminating binge drinking can help you finally accelerate your career, fix your relationships, prevent alcoholism, and even help you shed unwanted pounds. We've also seen that the old way of doing things simply doesn't work. And that the best way forward is to reset the brain behavior thermostat. Because it's proven to give people just like you the results they want. You can do this. We can do this together. Just imagine how great it will feel when you no longer have to struggle with harmful medication side effects, detox, or unnecessary weight gain. You know how good it feels when you can finally succeed in your career, enjoy time with your friends and family without pesky mood swings, detox jitters, or guilt that the binge drinking's been causing you. And if you'd like us to help you, we would be delighted. Because there's one thing we know for sure. Doing this alone isn't easy. I mean, you could do it by yourself, but you'd waste a lot of time, money, needless frustration. It would be like trying to drive across country without a GPS or any signs to tell you where to go. You want to spend that time and money to become the next expert on binge drinking? We didn't think so. That's our job, not yours. You just want the end result, and that's why you're here, right? We both know that you can only get so far on your own. After all, we don't know any high level athletes who got to the top by themselves, do you? Who's going to keep you accountable? How will you know what tools to use and when? And how are you going to achieve sustainable results? And let's be honest, you're here because you know that the other avenues you've tried, like abstinence, detox, and meds, just haven't cut it. So, does doing more of the same sound smart? Probably not. Books are great for knowledge, but not for transformation. Unfortunately, there's so many doctors who miss that mark, and they just don't understand this. Honestly, we've done our best to share with you what we can do to help you and what's worked for our clients. But the reality is, everyone's unique, and your situation could be different from someone else's. Unless you're the expert who can identify those nuances, it's going to be really tough to improve your situation all by yourself. Successful people figure out what they want and why they want it. Then they ask who, not how. Let me explain. If you had a leak in your roof, would you figure out how to fix it? If you did, that would likely involve you going to Home Depot, buying some shingles, and climbing up on top of the roof of your house with little idea what you're doing and somehow fix your roof. No sane person would do that, unless, of course, you love DIY work and are super handy around the house. But you know what? This type of thinking really holds people back in life because they try to DIY their way throughout their health. And just to do what? To save a few bucks. And although it may eventually happen, the road is filled with mistakes, lost time, and tons of frustration. Eventually, a lot of money goes down the drain. Money is cheap, but time is expensive. Successful people don't waste time trying to figure out how to do things on their own. They look for their who, the expert, who will lead them to get the results that they want. They ask, who can help me get this fixed? That's the smarter way to think, isn't it? Isn't that the best question to ask? When you're just a phone call away from getting the help you deserve, you should be asking yourself, who can help me fix this problem? So here's exactly how we can help you. My team and I have set aside some time on our calendar to speak with you personally, absolutely free, about how you can apply these strategies right away and start getting the results you deserve. On this free binge clarity call, we'll do three things. First, we'll get clear on what you really want. We'll look at what you've already tried to solve this problem, and we'll identify what things you want to be different in the future. Second, and most importantly, we'll uncover the challenges that held you back in the past. In most cases, people are not clear on these. That's part of the role that we play as coach to help you see them. Third, we'll create a plan to help you reach your goals. Once we know where you've been and what's been holding you back and where you want to go, we'll put together a game plan to help you reach your desired goals. And if you'd like to get there faster and without frustration, we'll talk about what it looks like to work together. And just like Bob, Sarah, John, Greg, Stephanie, George, Anthony, and hundreds of thousands of others, we'll show you what it looks like to work together and achieve success. It all started with this binge clarity call for them, and it can be a game changer for you too. So, if you want to accelerate your success in your career, if you want to enjoy improved relationships with your friends and family, and if you want to prevent alcoholism, and if you want to do it all without abstinence, detox, or medication, then this is for you. And in case you're wondering why we're offering this free call, it's because we love speaking to people who are taking full control of their health and are ready to finally solve this problem once and for all. It's because we've seen other clients become super successful and transform their lives. And although we normally charge over $500 an hour for our time and we have a waiting list of clients, we know that a good percentage of the people who speak with us will end up wanting to work with us so they can meet their goals in the fastest amount of time possible. So, if that's you, amazing. We'd love to help. But if we mutually decide that it doesn't make sense, that's okay too. But before we go any further, you have to know that we can't help everyone. Based on the hundreds of thousands of people we've actually helped over the last 20 years, we know that there are certain types of people who will get results and some who won't. And the last thing we want to do is waste your time if you're not the type of person who will see results. This is not for you if you're in denial of your binge drinking problem. If you're unwilling to lean in for support and trust our team of experts to help you achieve lasting success, or if you're unwilling or unable to invest in your health. Regardless of whether we decide to work together or not, if you live on disability or food stamps, or if you don't believe it's important to invest in your health, then this is not for you. As much as we'd love to help everyone, we simply can't. Our time is limited, as is yours. And what we want to make sure of is that we're speaking to clients who will see value in improving their situation once and for all. This is for you. If you're someone who's fully committed to taking control of your situation and health, if this is a priority for you now, and if binge drinking has interfered with your work, career, or lifestyle, if you've taken responsibility for completing the steps to eliminate binge drinking once and for all and are willing to lean in for support and trust our team of experts, and if you're someone who's fully committed and will stop at nothing to make it happen, this is something that needs to happen now, not later, not down the road. So, if you meet these criteria, then there's no reason you can't see results, just like Bob, Greg, John, Sarah, and countless others have. So, here's what you do next. Go to www.bingeclaritycall.com. Schedule a call with us simply by clicking the link below. And then once you're there, you'll be able to grab a time slot for the next 48 hours. Once your time has been selected, you'll then see a few questions that we'd like you to answer just because we want to get a better idea of where you've been and where you want to go. That way, our call together will be as productive as possible. So, if you want to uncover what's really been keeping you from eliminating binge drinking, and if you want to learn how to be binge free in as little as 8 weeks, and if you want to see if working together makes the most sense for you to get there even faster, then this is for you. So, just to be clear, our goal is not to pressure you or sell you on anything that isn't right for you. Our goal is to act like a custodian to help you do what's best for your situation. Simply go to www.bingeclaritycall.com. So time is of the essence because we only do so many of these calls each week. We don't run a huge call center. And so this is on a first come, first served basis. And so once these spots fill up, well, they're gone. So if you're serious about eliminating binge drinking once and for all, and you meet the ideal criteria we discussed earlier, then go to www.bingeclaritycall.com and book your call right now while it's still at the top of your mind. So, you really only have two choices now. You can continue doing what you've always done and you'll keep getting what you've always gotten, or we can jump on the phone and put together a winning game plan to set you up for success. We've noticed that there are two types of people: the person who struggles to figure out what he or she wants and then asks, "How can I do this?" and then spends years trying to crack the code, but sadly, it rarely happens. Then there's the successful person who actually achieves what they want because they figure out what they want and then they ask, "Who can help me get there?" They find a mentor, a coach, someone who's already paved the path, someone who can help them get the results faster than they could on their own. Now, the fact that you're still here watching this tells me that you're the type of person who is, or at least wants to be, successful. Let's finish what you've already started and go ahead, book the call, and we can help you reach your goals much faster without all the unnecessary struggle and frustration than doing it on your own. You've watched this entire training. You want to eliminate binge drinking permanently, and you know that you're simply not getting the results you want on your own. So you'll want to take advantage of this opportunity now. Simply click the link below or go to www.bingeclaritycall.com and let's do this together. You deserve it.